Lord Emu is not the final villain of One Piece. There is someone who is even above and beyond Emu. Sanji awakens Conqueror Saki, and Saint Summers is definitely going to die. Stick till the end because I'm going to make a huge revelation about why Emu is not the final villain and there is someone else who is pulling the strings from behind the scene. But before that, one small request, and that is to like this video, share this video through fellow One Piece and anime fans, subscribe to our channel Anymotion. Now with the self-introduction out of the way, let's get back into the main video. So in this week's chapter 1187, an interesting thing happened, and that is Emu's Omen attacks could really think on their own. They have an independent mind, just like Big Mom's homies. But again, the power level is going to be drastically different because Emu is really more stronger than Big Mom, and Emu's power league is way higher than Big Mom. So let me just get this straight, that Omens are really more stronger than homies. But again, when Emu really appeared for the first time, we got to see the houses and everything where he appeared started dancing. So there was a feeling that hey, he might have homie kind of power, but now it's confirmed that his Omens can think of their own. And it is going to be pretty interesting to see what he does or what the Omen does with their independent thinking ability in the upcoming chapters. But right now, Emu is literally abusing Loki, and Luffy hit Emu in the last chapter, and this time he just hit back Loki, not Luffy for some reason, and he just hit Loki at the same spot where he stabbed Loki just a few chapters ago. So it really could hurt a lot for Loki. And at this point, how is even Loki alive? Does he have a busted regeneration ability that we don't know about, or does he have so thick plot armor that he just doesn't die for some reason? It is pretty interesting to see because he got stabbed by Shamrock and now Emu twice at the same spot. So again, and he just flies away through Elbaf. You could imagine the size of Loki, and he's just flying through this attack that Emu just unleashed on him, and he conveniently just falls, or Ragnir for instance conveniently just falls on the ice cube created by Ragnir in order to freeze Gunko. So this is a way in order to carry on the plot for the upcoming chapters, where right now Brook's group is going to meet up with Gunko, and we might just get to know some huge revelation regarding Gunko's ocular jutsu. But somewhere else in the island, we get to see Zoro versus Saint Summers, and I think this is the end for Saint Summers. He could not have picked an more harsh opponent than Zoro, and I don't think Zoro is going to leave Saint Summers alive. He might not intentionally kill Saint Summers, but that mechanical heart, we get to see when Zoro saw that heart for the very first time, he just said, hey, what will happen if we just cut out the heart? And right now he has the person standing in front of him, boosted by the Omen power of Emu. But again, Zoro has one of the best and busted Conqueror Saki, so I don't think it is going to be any trouble for Zoro in order to chop down Saint Summers. It is going to be a one-sided massacre at this point. And if we just leave Zoro for a moment, we move on to our main guy for this chapter, Windsmoke Sanji. We all thought it is going to be Usopp's arc in Elbaf. Nope, it is going to be Sanji's arc. And Sanji shows hint of being a conqueror. And we all know that Sanji eventually will have Conqueror Saki, but right now seeing this on the flesh and on the chapters of this One Piece arc, it is so fresh to see. And one more thing about Sanji is that when he just saw Zaza, he just literally figured out, hey, Zaza might not be a real person right now, but she is still a female person. So I'll keep my moral code to myself, and I'm not going to attack Zaza at this point. Literally, he just saw Zaza destroying the whole village. He just did not hesitate, and he did not attack because he will not attack a female person at any point of time. He's still holding up his moral code, which is one of the most badass signature for Sanji in the story of One Piece. And then he just moved his attention to Saint Kirringham. Again, just like Saint Summers, Saint Kirringham is also in a very bad spot because you are hurting the ladies in front of Sanji, and you are also using a lady to hurt the ladies. So it is going to be a max level crime in Sanji's book, and you are going to get destroyed for that. And Sanji is going to awaken Conqueror Saki probably in the next chapter, and he's going to just obliterate Saint Kirringham. He might face some problem using Conqueror Saki for the very first time, and we might get to see a more intense and a more balanced fight than Zoro versus Saint Summers, which is again going to be a one-sided massacre. So Sanji versus Kirringham might be a more balanced fight because Kirringham is also being powered up with the Omen ability of Emu. So besides Luffy and Emu fighting each other, this is the second most fight I think everyone is watching, or rather looking forward to in the upcoming chapters of One Piece. Now let us talk about the main thing from this chapter, and that is Emu and who really controls Emu and the main villain of One Piece. Now Oda throughout the story of One Piece and mostly in Elbaf is dropping some small hints about there could be an even bigger villain than Emu. Now let me explain this in plain and simple words. You see, whenever Emu was in a silhouette, be it the flower room, be it the talking with Gorosei, he always addressed Luffy as Nika, someone known as the sun god. And this is very interesting to note how Emu terms things, because Emu's wording is very specific. And when Emu even arrived in Elbaf, he told Nika and Nidhogg, not Luffy and Loki. But right now his wording is changed. He now tells Luffy as Joy Boy, not Nika. Now if you think about it, it is a very small change in just a single name. From Nika it changed to Joy Boy. But if you take both of them in the same context, both of them really hold the same kind of power. Nika was the real sun god. Joy Boy probably had the sun god devil fruit. And not probably, he confirmedly had that devil fruit. And the last time we heard the silhouette say Joy Boy, it was when Joy Boy's Conqueror's Haki was unleashed. And if you look at how Oda specifically differentiate between Nika, Joy Boy and Luffy, it is very specific. He do not overlap those names. He uses the names Nika and Joy Boy in very different situations. Whenever they are addressing some kind of god, he always uses Nika. Nika never got changed for Joy Boy. And whenever Void Century is at place, he always uses Joy Boy, never replaces Joy Boy with Nika. So replacing a name here is so much important. And now the second point is that whenever you look at the behavior, how the silhouette and the Emu we are seeing right now speaks, it is also very different. Emu right now seems more friendly somehow, and he doesn't speak in much more cryptic way like the silhouette always speak. He literally feels like a human who has a very high ego and a very high confidence. If you guys have watched the anime Fate, he is much more like an ultra pro max version of Gilgamesh speaking with his ego. That's it. That is what Emu is doing right now. He is not speaking in that cryptic manner which is Emu's signature speaking style. And this change in speaking style and name change of people from Nika to Joy Boy is very intentional. I think there is an higher power, maybe the devil itself, who is controlling Emu right now, and little by little his influence is decreasing through Emu's body. And the Emu we are seeing right now, the Ultra Pro Max Gilgamesh version, is literally the real Emu from Void Century who fought against Joy Boy. And I'm going to go one step further and say this, that the Emu we are seeing right now might not be the final villain. This Emu could be the villain for Elbaf, and Luffy might literally defeat and destroy Emu right here, right now in Elbaf, and then the real villain who probably influenced or controlled Emu throughout Void Century and is the real ruler of the One Piece world is going to step in as the final villain. And maybe, just maybe, we're going to find about that person through Blackbeard. How we're going to do that, I'm going to explain all that in my next video. But that will be it for today's video. I hope you guys liked it, and if you guys watched till the end, thank you so much for watching our video till the end. Be sure to like this video, share this video to fellow One Piece and anime fans, subscribe to our channel Anymotion, and if you guys have any kind of video recommendation or any kind of theory, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below. But now with that out of the way, I'll say one thing, and that is I'm out. Peace.